First of all, yes, I am sitting on the floor, although you probably can't see that because I've cut it off in the video, I think. Second of all, I have some thoughts. For years, I've had this mindset of not wanting to be known. So I didn't want to post anything online or post my thoughts online to strangers because I didn't want people to know me. And this doesn't just translate just to an online presence, it also translated into my personal life. Even when people ask me like what I do on the weekends, I would give them very vague responses. And for some reason, I didn't want them to know me. I didn't want them to have an insight of me. I'm not entirely sure why that is the case, but I suppose a big contender is that it shows a lot of vulnerability. If someone knows too much about me, they can make assumptions on me and use things against me. But also, I guess, not telling them things about my life, they would still make assumptions about me. So really there's no escaping it. So fast forward, here I am posting a video on YouTube. What's changed? Well, I had this new realization that even if someone were to watch all my YouTube videos, albeit there is one and it's this one, but let's say there were hundreds, and so even if someone were to watch all my YouTube videos, they still wouldn't really know me. They'd know my thoughts and perhaps my mannerisms and how I see the world, but they wouldn't know me in a tangible sense because they haven't actually met me in real life. So I took comfort in that you can watch all the videos you like, but you still don't actually know me. And then that got me thinking further that, okay, so that means that the people that know me in real life know me, right? But the people that know me in real life don't know me from my YouTube videos. So there's a part of me that they don't know about me. So do they really know me? So then, if they know me in real life and they watch my YouTube videos, then they know me. But of course that's not the case because there are many different scenarios that I could see myself in that they wouldn't see me in. So they wouldn't have that insight into me because there's no possible way that one person could see all the scenarios that you are in to really truly know you. I put "know" in quotations because I think knowing someone is just perception. Let me elaborate. So the way you were brought up, your past experiences, the people you've interacted with, the books you've read, the media you've consumed, they all have formed you, right? So the way you perceive me is due to an amalgamation of those experiences that you've had. So let's say that you had different life experiences, you met different people growing up, you were brought up differently, read different books, consumed different media. Then you would perceive me in a completely different way. But I haven't changed, it's you that's changed. Your perception of me has changed. So that's the question that I'm pondering today, is knowing someone merely perception? And the sheer fact that this exists on the internet is because I am confident in the fact that knowing someone is just perception. Well, that's what I'm convincing myself, so I don't not post this video. Anywho, now you could make the argument that, okay, so the only person that truly knows you is yourself because you've been with you from birth till now, right? However, as mentioned before, you could have been raised differently. You could have met different people, had different experiences, and then so the way you perceive yourself from birth to now would be different if you'd had different experiences. So even if you know yourself, it's still a perception of yourself. Hope I haven't lost you. Back to the identity crisis triggering question, what actually is you? Another example would be when you meet someone, you decide that you don't like them. Now another person could meet them and decide that they do like them. For this thought experiment, let's just say that the length of time that you met the person and the context that you met the person and the things you talked about were the same. So one person could dislike them and one person could like them, but they met the same person. That's another point to when you think you know someone, it's just how you're perceiving. So there's two different people in this scenario who have perceived the one person. So which version of this one person is the real them? And you could argue that it's the one that you personally perceive them as, because you're only seeing the world through your eyes, your experience. But isn't that just bias? So everything in reality is just your perception of reality, which, yes, I suppose that is what reality is. It is just how you perceive reality. But when it comes to meeting people, it just seems to get a little bit more interesting to me. I guess I did actually think of this little experiment you could do with yourself that I am going to incorporate in my life, is that when you meet someone, you have, or even if you know them, you have an interaction with them, you come away from the interaction, you're thinking a certain way. You think, oh, well, now I think this and this and this about them. And that's what the story that you tell yourself. How about next time you say, well, I could be completely wrong about that. They could have meant this, this, and this. And just like settle with yourself that you don't actually know anything, you've just perceived them. I suppose the outcome of this little experiment is that you realize that your thoughts about them are simply how you are perceiving your thoughts about them. One more simple example is comedy. So I think something's funny, you don't think something's funny. Which one is true? Well, they're both true in each of our individual minds. So truth is subjective. It's perception, no? In saying all this, perhaps that's just the nature of reality. There is no true, there is just perception of true. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any thoughts on the matter. I'd be very interested to hear your thoughts based on your experiences and how you perceive reality. Bye. So I've just come back from watching that video you just watched, and that was the first video I've ever recorded of myself talking to a camera. It's by no means perfect. Well, it's my perception that it's not perfect. Hopefully, if I keep posting, I will become better at talking to a camera. And if you couldn't tell that that was the first time that I have recorded myself talking to a camera, then perhaps you shouldn't consider a career in detective work. Or I should consider a career in being an actress. Jokes aside, I hope that you enjoyed the video and I hope to make more. And yep, see you next time. Bye.